Welcome, everyone. Today we are diving into the world of television talk programs. We'll explore why this format remains a cornerstone of global broadcasting, the different ways these shows are classified, and the unique production dynamics that make them successful. At its heart, the talk show is defined by one thing: conversation. While many TV formats rely on carefully written scripts or heavy post-production editing, talk shows prioritize real-time human interaction. This makes them unique because they feel alive. This format is incredibly flexible. It can range from a lighthearted, funny chat on a late-night show to a very serious, highly organized political debate where every word matters. You might wonder why networks fill so much of their schedule with talk shows. The answer is simple: they are great for business. Producing a talk show is much cheaper than making a scripted drama because you don't need exotic locations, expensive sets, or special effects. In fact, networks usually save about 60% in production costs. This financial saving allows networks to invest heavily in a famous host who can build a loyal fan base and keep engagement high for years. Every successful talk show is built on a triangle of three key groups. First, you have the host, who acts as the captain of the ship and guides the conversation. Second, you have the guests, who provide the new content, whether that's a celebrity story or an expert opinion. Finally, you have the audience. Their role is vital because their laughter, applause, and energy give the show its atmosphere and tell the people at home how to feel about what's happening. In this genre, the host isn't just a presenter. They are the face of the entire brand. Viewers often develop what we call a parasocial relationship with hosts like Oprah Winfrey or Graham Norton, feeling as though they know them personally. The host's specific personality and communication style set the vibe for the whole show. They have to be able to switch smoothly between being a serious interviewer and a casual friend, depending on the guest and the topic. A major part of a talk show's success is its flow. Unlike a news anchor who simply reads facts from a teleprompter, a talk show host must be an expert at active listening. While there is a plan for the interview, the host needs to make it feel like an organic, natural conversation. The goal is to make the viewers feel like they are just listening in on an interesting chat between two people, rather than watching a rehearsed performance. Live and live to tape. To keep the energy feeling fresh and immediate, most talk shows use a live-to-tape method. This means the show is recorded in one continuous block with very few stops, as if it were happening live. This creates a certain level of excitement and, quote, fast-paced energy. It's very different from a movie where you might film one scene 20 times. Here, you get one shot to get it right, which keeps the host and guests very sharp. Guest integration. The secret to a talk show's longevity is that the content changes every single day. This is done through a rotating list of guests. By bringing in a mix of subject matter experts, politicians, and movie stars, the show can appeal to many different types of people. This variety ensures that the program never feels repetitive and always has something new to offer, even if you watch it every night. Authenticity. Authenticity is the secret sauce of a great talk show. Even though the producers do research beforehand, the best moments are often the ones that weren't planned. If a guest says something surprising or emotional, a skilled host will ignore their prepared list of questions and follow that new topic. This ability to be real on the spot is what creates the viral moments that everyone talks about the next day. Major classifications. To understand the industry, we can group talk shows into three main categories. First, news and information shows are designed to teach and inform. Second, entertainment shows are made for fun and relaxation. Finally, lifestyle shows focus on personal interests and home life. Knowing which category a show falls into helps the production team decide everything from what the set should look like to how the host should dress and speak. News and information. News and info shows are essentially a form of journalism. Their main goal is to help the public understand complex issues like new laws, elections, or the economy. These shows are very important for democracy because they provide a space for deep discussion on topics that might only get a 30-second mention on the nightly news. They often help set the national mood and spark important conversations. The news interrogator. In a news-style talk show, the host's role is very different. Instead of being a friendly pal, they act more like an investigator. They often use a devil's advocate approach, where they challenge the guest's ideas, even if they personally agree with them. This is done to make sure the guest is being honest and to provide the audience with a clear, balanced view of the facts. News/info examples. Think of shows like Meet the Press in the US, The News Hour in India, or HARDtalk on the BBC. These are all examples of shows where the conversation is serious and disciplined. They prove that you don't need bright lights or comedy to make television that is incredibly engaging and powerful. Entertainment and comedy. Now we move to the entertainment side of things, which is all about relaxation and escapism. These shows usually air late at night and are designed to help people wind down after a long day. The production values here are much higher. Expect colorful sets, a live house band, and a host who is often a comedian or a high-energy entertainer. Anatomy of late night. Most late-night entertainment shows follow a very specific recipe that has worked for decades. It starts with a monologue, where the host tells jokes about the day's news. This is followed by funny comedy sketches and interviews with celebrities. Finally, the show usually ends with a live musical performance. This structure ensures that the energy stays high from start to finish. Comedy examples. Modern shows like The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon or The Kapil Sharma Show have mastered this format. They are especially good at creating viral segments, like games or musical parodies, that are perfect for social media. This helps the show stay relevant to younger audiences who might not watch the whole episode on TV, but will watch a 5-minute clip on YouTube. Lifestyle and human interest. Lifestyle shows are usually found in the morning or afternoon. They focus on things that affect our daily lives, like home decor, cooking, and mental health. The host's main job here is to build a bond of trust with the audience. They act as a supportive friend or a mentor, creating a safe space for guests to share personal stories that might be very emotional. Lifestyle topics. The range of topics on lifestyle shows is huge. You might see a segment on how to organize your kitchen, followed by a deep discussion on relationship advice or overcoming a personal tragedy. By mixing practical tips with emotional storytelling, these shows provide a full picture of the human experience and offer viewers something they can actually use in their own lives. Case study, HARDtalk. Let's look at a specific example, HARDtalk, on the BBC. This show is famous for its minimalist style. There is no studio audience, no music, and no fancy graphics. It is just two people sitting across from each other. This setup shows that if the questions are tough and the answers are honest, you don't need any fluff to create some of the most intense television on the planet. Case study, Koffee with Karan. In total contrast, Koffee with Karan is all about glamour and high energy. Because the host is a famous Bollywood director, he has real friendships with the guests, which allows them to speak more freely. The show uses games like the rapid-fire round to push celebrities to give quick, spicy answers. It's a great example of how a show can turn gossip into a highly entertaining production. Case study, Oprah Winfrey. We can't talk about talk shows without mentioning Oprah Winfrey. She completely changed the format by bringing a high level of empathy to her interviews. She broke the fourth wall by often walking into the audience and letting them speak. She proved that a talk show could be a place for both massive celebrity interviews and deep, soul-searching conversations with everyday people. Episode structure, blocks. Behind the scenes, every episode is broken down into segments called blocks, separated by commercial breaks. We start with a hook, something exciting to make sure you don't change the channel. The most important guest or topic always goes in the A block, right at the beginning, when the most people are watching. As the show goes on, we move toward lighter or shorter segments. Production segments. Narrative. Each segment has a specific job. The cold open is that first 30 seconds designed to grab your attention instantly. The monologue or intro sets the tone. The A block is the meat of the show, where the main interview happens. Finally, the outro is where the host says goodbye and gives you a reason to tune in again tomorrow, building brand loyalty. The production roadmap. Producing a talk show requires 3 essential tools. The rundown is the minute-by-minute schedule that the whole crew follows. The research brief is a detailed document that tells the host everything they need to know about the guest so they don't look unprepared. Finally, the teleprompter provides the host with their scripted jokes and transitions so they can keep eye contact with the camera and stay smooth. Summary. To wrap everything up, talk shows are a fascinating mix of smart business, careful planning, and the simple, timeless power of people talking to each other. Whether it's to teach us, make us laugh, or help us feel connected to others, these shows succeed because they focus on the human voice. Thank you for listening, and I'm happy to take any questions you might have about the world of television talk programs. Thank you. Like and subscribe.